truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terror.
I got an achievement. You can't jump.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the source
Just clicking
of the
buttons
woman's
at this
power,
point.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
What do I gotta do, man?
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off.
3.
And leave.
Oh.
If you want to throw my story off track,
5.
you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have
Never
nearly
mind,
the
bro.
power you
There's
think you do,
fucking
for
these
example,
buttons, right?
and I believe you'll find this
Which one's that up there? 4?
Stanley
Okay,
suddenly realized
One,
he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
1,
nuclear
2.
detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation?
3.
Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine.
Fuck,
You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your... Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about
Where's
you,
5 at again?
about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
That shit was like...
A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
bro.
Die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground,
the fuck
swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Not gonna lie, shit's actually fucking pissing
This
me off.
version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Stanley, what the fuck do I do
You're in
once
for
I
quite
come
a
to the buttons? Like,
disappointment.
am I
But here's a
fucking it
spoiler
up?
for you.
Like, what do I...
That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action
1,
moving along. It's just seconds
2.
ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made
3.
humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the
4.
clock. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
Motherfucking, bro.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice? Make it count.
Fine.
Or don't. It's all the same to me.
Do
All
something,
part
bro.
of the joke.
Please.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every
Oh
second
my
of your
God,
inevitable life
bro.
from the moment
What
we
the
feed in
fuck do you
until the
want me
moment
to
I
do,
say,
gang?
"Happily ever up."
I'm just sitting here, bro. Like a fucking... Nah, like I really
All
don't
of
know
his
what the
co-workers
fuck to
were
do,
gone.
bro.
What could it mean?
This shit is getting
Stanley
annoying,
decided to
gang.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet
The
there
what,
wasn't a single
nigga?
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Bro, I'm a retard, bro.
2845. But of course, Stanley could, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Here's the buttons do fuck all, bro. So what do I do?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this
Bro,
world is.
I'm actually about
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow
Bro,
life.
am I, what?
Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the
Maybe.
narrator, as Stanley was led
Bro,
helplessly
my bad, I didn't
into
know
the
I wasn't
enormous
supposed to do
metal
that.
jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. My bad, bro. Oh, shit.